Got my nigga Cheese in this bitch. Midwest UGK, nigga. You already know. I said my hands on this money. I'm caught up in this lifestyle. This 100-round drummy. Hit a knock a nigga right down. My dope on my scale. It be knocking watch lights out. My spot do be booming. I'm caught up in this lifestyle. My hands on this money. I'm caught up in this lifestyle. Man, rest in peace, Young Dolph. First and foremost. But at the end of the day, it's to the point where I'm starting to feel like I'm watching a Memphis Mafia movie, and some of the actors in the movie are starting to do podcast promo. And when I say this, I'm talking about Hernandez Govan recently beaten and being acquitted in the Young Dolph case. We watched Straight Drop Cornelius go down. We listened to Big Jook's name, Yo Gotti's name, come up in the trial consistently, and yet and still Govan beat the case. But not only did he beat the case, he came home with a vengeance. And the first thing he did, he didn't go to the street. No. He didn't go to the streets, YouTube. He went to the internet.
Sure. What's going on, man? You straight? It's Friday night. You know what I'm saying? We would have thought you would have been on the town or something like that, bro. Like, you good? Yeah, I'm all good. Okay, you kind of, I don't know, man. You straight? You kind of looking at me like kind of funny, bro. Like, that, man, you know, I just don't respect, you know what I'm saying, man? You know how, you was putting in there like I had something, like I was really in on this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you try to not it, when you got probably to the most and shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't respect this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, why are you from Memphis from doing some goofy ass shit like that? Like, first off, why you talking to, nigga? Any nigga ban me from Memphis, I do not stipulate. But you can do that old man still face shit you got going on, nigga. But this Ceddy Nash, bro. Like, I don't know what got going on, bro. But I'm one of them niggas. You don't come on the internet talking to me like that, nigga. For sure. I'm not that nigga. One thing we ain't finna do is argue on Instagram. You know, I look at you as like little kids in high school that used to get beat up and shit, and now you got a voice since the internet has been invented. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, we ain't gotta do this. Like, I'll be in LA soon. I'll be in Atlanta soon. Nigga, we can meet up and I'll kick the pies out you. Nigga, we ain't gotta do this shit. First off, that nigga beat me up, nigga. That ain't never happened. So, you definitely won't come to LA. For sure, you already come to the goddamn LA. Nigga, that's one thing you won't do, nigga. My city? You talking like that, bro? Just get ran out of your city for bringing Lil Woody to the 60s. I got ran out of my city? Then you have to pay some niggas out the 60s. Right? If I pay anybody, I'm paying ounce. That's who I pay, nigga. I pay niggas to get niggas out the way. Watch your mouth, nigga, before I slap them. That's one thing. So you first off, nigga, and you come to Atlanta, bro, let me tell you something. You slick ass little bean head ass niggas, bro. Niggas like you, bro, I slap the shit out of them. Nigga, I'll get your old ass away. You probably wearing the pins out this motherfucker. He's like 70-year-old talking shit. Nigga, talking about. Man, I can tell the way you're talking. You been in a fight, probably. You just, the only fight you been in is in your dreams, nigga. You just talking. We ain't got to do all this goofy ass shit, nigga. Let's just line it up, nigga. I'll be in LA in like 4 days. Where you at? I'll be in LA, nigga, 3 days and wait for you for 5 days, nigga. Alright, so I tell you what, when I touch down, nigga, in 4 days, nigga, I'm gonna drop my load and let you know where I'm at. And I'm gonna see if your podcasting ass gonna pull up.
Now, in the process of getting on Ceddy Nash's live, everything goes left, apparently, as we see, right? Just as quick as he was threatened not to go to LA, he went and did a Vlad interview. quick, might I add. But this how you know it's deeper than rap, because in some of these clips that Vlad been putting out of the show, he's so Dolph was a good guy. Dolph was a good guy. Dolph was a good guy. Dolph was, but at the end of all this Dolph praise, we turn around and we hear him say it was his fault. It was Dolph's fault. It lets you know where his loyalty lies. But not only that, okay, you beat the case. But the talking. And we don't even know if the feds is coming. You don't know if the feds is coming unless you're working for them. So to go on a podcast run, knowing don't nobody want to ask you nothing but questions that got something to do with the Dolph case is crazy. So not only do you come home and threaten YouTubers, you go at Ceddy Nash, you go at Poetik Flakko, and then you go on a podcast run hoping to run into these people that you threaten. And it don't stop there, because you even go as far as to threaten Kenny Money. So I don't know if he coming home, your life's still in danger, regardless if you've been acquitted. Your life's still in danger. You decide to put your focus on not living free and being safe and having some, some type of security in life. You go on a road of exposing things in the case that you shouldn't be exposing, knowing your life is in danger and knowing that these folks is watching you. It's crazy. And that's why I say this reminds me, and that's not to say that the things that's going on is fake. What I mean by this reminds me of watching a mafia movie, because it's been a lot of loss of life in this situation. We done lost Dolph. The streets of Memphis done lost a lot of people. Shout out to Memphis. But in the process of everything, all the blood that done been shed, right? We got people that will go to the internet and shed so much light on the situation that being from Memphis, and then you go and you talk about these things, it's almost like you're playing a character in the situation and you're narrating partially what's going on. That's why I said it's like watching a mafia movie, and some of the actors are going on a promo run. Look at Stan G. He from Memphis. He talk a lot about Memphis. Look at Govan. Nigga, you just was standing in court hoping and wishing you wasn't found guilty on these charges. And then you come home and you back to playing tough guy, like you just wasn't sitting in court 48 hours ago praying that you didn't lose your freedom to the system. Then you come home and you go at Kenny Money too. And this is where I feel like he don't take the game serious, because at the end of the day, you from Memphis. What's going on, you have been implicated in. You are in part forced into the smoke that's going on. So why would you come home and target YouTubers? We ain't hoping we catch you. It's people in the streets of Memphis hope they catch you. So you got this shit all wrong. And maybe we looking at everything all wrong. Maybe it was meant for this nigga not to go to jail. so the streets could deal with it. But let me also just throw this theory out there, because there's no proof that this nigga cooperated in any way, right? They went to trial, all the evidence would have been on the table. Let's just say somebody paid or got to a few of the jurors and paid them to have a non-guilty vote to the point where he get off. And the streets got to deal with it. That's possible because the people that's being brought up in this situation got money, bruh. I'm not saying CMG did nothing like this. And I ain't gonna say Paper Route did nothing like this neither. But at the end of the day, we talking about Jook being brought up in a situation. It was $100K on a nigga head. Then we talking about his multi-millionaire little brother, Yo Gotti. Dolph was a multi-millionaire. It's people around these people that's multi-millionaires. It's money involved. It can happen, and it's totally not impossible, bruh. So we got to start looking at this from a whole bunch of different angles because it's deeper than rap. Which leads us to the whole situation with Gunna and Young Thug and Young Thug's video being leaked, man. Let's get into it. Now, how can we be angry at Gunna but not have the same level of energy for Young Thug when you might not have did exactly what Gunna did, but you partially did some things that you look at Gunna, you look down at Gunna and the rest of these YSL members for, and you turn around and do the same thing. Kinda. Not sit there and, you know, do what they did, but you interrogating and you mentioning certain people, you laughing and joking. It's almost like you trying to, you have the option not to speak at all. And you didn't choose that option. You chose to sit in there for 120 minutes. And we'll overlook that and say, well, he ain't do nothing wrong. He ain't do nothing wrong. He did. Because you looked at Gunna like he was supposed to not say nothing. You looked at the rest of them YSL niggas like they were supposed to not say nothing. So why is the leader in the interrogation room having a conversation? It's not about who he sent to jail or, you know, whose paperwork he came up on. It ain't even about that at this point. It's about the fact that you were supposed to stick to a code you expected everybody under you to stick to, and you did certain things you shouldn't have did neither. We looking at Ralo like that now today. Ralo go through a lot of backlash behind trying to finesse the FBI. And the vast majority still look at him like he ratted. Y'all look at Yak Gotti like he ratted. Y'all look at Gunna like he ratted. Young Thug sat in an interrogation room and said Pee Wee Roscoe be carrying drugs for Lil Wayne. Niggas don't joke like that in the interrogation room. So why is we overlook? Why don't we praise YFN Lucci enough, man? YFN Lucci had options. He could have spoken his case. YFN Lucci had options. He could have spoke in Thugger case. And he refused all that shit. Yet we don't praise that enough because we worried about what Gunna did and we worried about what Thugger did. But what about what YFN Lucci did? Is what was expected of street dudes. Yet we talking about Gunna and Thugger. And we looking at Thugger like he didn't do nothing wrong. Thugger didn't beat his case, he took a plea. I seen something over the internet saying that he was finna get all this stuff back from the feds that they took when he got rushed. How do you get your stuff back? When you took a plea. A plea deal don't mean you beat your case. A plea deal mean you still end up in the system some kind of way. You might not have went to jail, but you end up in the system now. You in the system now. We don't question a lot of things that we should. But because we don't have the same amount of favor for this person as we do this person, we gonna bash this person more than we bash this person because we got more love for this person right here than we do this one right here. So he was more wrong than this person. And that ain't the way this shit supposed to go. On 3300 Trap Street, this ain't the way it's supposed to go. Ain't no news like street news. It's time for that culture for the streets. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know how y'all feel about the whole Thugger and Gunner situation, because at the end of the day, we do be biased about a lot of stuff. Lil Baby don't mess with Ralo, Lil Baby don't mess with Gunner, but you mess with Thug. Now this come out, even though this is years old, you've been messing with Thug. Is you gonna get away from Thug? Is you gonna treat him the same as Ralo and Gunner? Is the industry gonna treat him the same? Is they treating Ralo and Gunner? Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. We live from 3300 Trap Street. It's time for that culture for the streets. Ain't no news like street news, man. Whether you're here for the streets or the news, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, man. I'm out.